The Buddha said that pain and suffering in this life are inevitable. His teachings were designed to bring us beyond that pain.
We know that violence and war can lead to great suffering and trauma. Lives are destroyed, family members lost, and whole populations displaced. Even if we aren't faced with a situation of violent conflict in our own lives, every one of us will face difficult challenges, pain, and loss. How can we learn to accept and deal with what has happened? How can we move on and keep living our lives in the knowledge of what has taken place? The task may seem impossible. However, miracles can occur when we access the power of forgiveness. We see forgiveness as one of the foundations of peace. Forgiveness is the antidote to the vicious cycles which stop us from moving on. In any conflict situation, from an argument between friends to an international war, there is a tendency to become trapped in cycles of retribution. You hit me, so I hit you, and on and on. In a long-running conflict situation, the desire for revenge may even span generations. Your great-grandfather hit my great-grandfather, so I have to even the score. And on, and on. As Gandhi's biographer Louis Fisher summed up his life's work with a phrase which is often attributed to Gandhi himself, "An eye for an eye will only end up making the whole world blind." To foster a lasting peace, we must transcend these cycles of violence. Transcending these cycles is the essence of peace work. You might think that forgiveness means letting offenders get away with criminal or abusive behavior, accepting an abusive or unjust situation, forgetting the past, as suggested by the phrase, "forgive and forget." We don't agree with any of these conceptions of forgiveness. As we are using the word, forgiveness is not passive. It is an active process. It is an ongoing process, not something which happens once and then is finished. It may require time, counseling, inner work, dialogue. Forgiveness is not easy. It takes both courage and strength. We may still take action. We may still need to protect ourselves or our families from harm. We may still choose to bring offenders to justice. And to commit ourselves to forgiveness means we take these actions without hate in our hearts. Action taken from a place of hatred usually breeds more pain. Action taken from a place of forgiveness can lead us to a change in the situation. It takes more courage to forgive than to seek revenge. From King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table by Howard Pyle.
Here at Peaceful Pathways, we see two main kinds of forgiveness: external and internal. External forgiveness is basically telling a person that you forgive them. I forgive you. It's a message to that person, and it can be a very powerful experience and a very important step in a process of reconciliation. Internal forgiveness refers to the process of letting go of the desire for retribution, revenge, and punishment inside one's own heart.
There are many situations in which external forgiveness may not be appropriate or even possible. For example, if the person who hurt you has passed away, you won't be able to tell them that you forgive them. And yet, we can still learn to accept the past and move on. Holding on to the desire for revenge can cause us great pain and block us from fully experiencing our lives. It may stop us from grieving and healing our trauma. It is one of the greatest barriers to peace. The process of forgiving allows us to remove the heavy weight of hatred and enmity from our own hearts, and finally, to heal.
In 1991, 4 police officers in Los Angeles were filmed beating Rodney King. King nearly died of his injuries, and the resulting court cases were one of the triggers of the 1992 LA riots. During those riots, King himself famously spoke up against the violence and made a call for peace.
I just want to say, can we all get along? Can we get along? Can we stop making it horrible for the older people and the kids?
In his 2012 book, The Riot Within, King offered these words on the subjects of hatred and forgiveness. I believe that hate is the most powerful destructive emotion. It deadens our spirit and drives the soul into darkness. For many years, I fostered an intense hatred, and it was one of the factors that created a riot within me. In another quote, he says, I have been asked countless times if I have forgiven those officers for beating me. The short answer is yes. The long answer is that I work on it every day, and every day I let it go a little more. I know I did wrong that night, and I believe they did wrong too, but we all have to move on and let go of the hate.